Hey everyone, welcome back to the Thinking Crypto channel, your home for crypto news and interviews. If you're watching the video, I am not on camera, still feeling under the weather, but I want to make this quick video to give you an update on some important news that we heard today. First and foremost, we certainly want to talk about the Bitcoin price correction or a drop or crash, whatever you want to call it. But there's extreme fear in the market right now. That's the sentiment. I want to talk about what is going to happen next. What can we expect? How are things going to play out? Because you guys know I've been sharing the Bitcoin weekly charts with my respective drawings of how the market the market cycles will play out. Well, it's playing out according to what I've been sharing with you guys for months, right? We're also going to talk about FTX Exchange. Their CEO, they just put out some regulatory framework. So following Coinbase and Ripple's move, this is interesting. And of course, we have the hearing with the CEO's meeting with Congress, Maxine Waters, pretty soon. So I want to share, the details around that. Also in South Korea, some very bullish and interesting news. They're going to drop their plans to add some crypto taxes because capital is leaving the country. This is interesting, and I think could be foreshadowing of what may come and what may happen in the United States. We also have a senator that's calling out Gary Gensler, and he's saying, obviously we know Genser is a puppet for the banking cartel, but calling him out and a few other folks as well as some cool metaverse and NFT news I want to share with you guys from Adidas and the Spider-Man movie. So we're going to break it all down. Before we do, please go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment below, and hit the subscribe button if you're new here. It helps support the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. Guys, if you haven't seen my interview with Senator Cynthia Lummis from yesterday, it's a good one. Be sure to check it out. I'll put a link in the description. We talk about all things crypto regulations and what's happening overall and the things she's doing to help clarify the bad crypto reporting language that's in the infrastructure bill. And my interview with Raoul Pal, macro investor, will be live on Monday. So please make sure you have the notification bells enabled. All right, this video is brought to you by Algorand, which is the official sponsor of the Thinking Crypto podcast and channel. Algorand is building the future of finance, and they're essentially using technology that is the convergence between decentralized and traditional financial models. They're one of the leading blockchains in the crypto industry, getting a lot of adoption and a lot of investment. Just recently, $500 million Algorand fund was set up by Borderless Capital. I've told you guys about Anthony Scaramucci's Skybridge Capital has put $100 million in Algorand. So has Michael Arrington. His hedge fund has put $100 million as well. We're seeing adoption in Miami and across the board. Lots happening with Algorand. I'm very bullish on it. I personally hold the Algo token in full disclosure, and that is because I see some great things on the horizon for Algorand. So if you would like to learn more, please visit algorand.com. Link will be in the description. Man, I don't even want to look at this coin market cap list right now. It is a bit painful. Not that I'm getting caught up in my emotions, but I hate seeing red on the charts, as I'm sure many of you as well. Bitcoin currently over $53,000, so it essentially dropped down, right? We didn't see this necessarily going to 53, but the weekly chart I've been sharing with you guys with my respective drawings of how the market cycles will play out, it is happening perfectly. This is a chart I've been sharing with you for months. That is not to say I'm some sort of Nostradamus or I'm trying to prop myself up. No, that is not the case. My point is to help provide education so that you guys can, the takeaway here is that nothing goes up in a straight line. Market cycles are playing out. You have a pump, you have a series of green candles, then you'll have a pullback series of red candles. Some dips are larger than others, and this here is a dip. It is not like the one we saw earlier this year where Bitcoin pumped to 64,000, and then we have a massive correction. This was into May and June, right? And Bitcoin dropped to the 34,000 range and so forth. But what happened after that? We pumped up because as I've shared with you guys, Bitcoin is following the 2013 model of double peaking, and we have not seen our blow off top yet. We still have that blow off top to go. So here we have our correction. It's a strong one, and I'm hoping by Sunday, Bitcoin closes the week above 53,000, because 53,000 is that key support level. And we don't want to go too far below that, right? Because it will take us longer to get out of that hole, so to speak. So we are playing out according to market cycles. And you guys know I have the receipts. I've shared this chart with you. So that's why I'm not panicking. I'm not worrying. Personally, I bought the dip today. That is not financial or investment advice. I'm putting whatever extra money I have in these dips here because I know we haven't hit that blow off top yet. Here's another example of how the data I'm looking at to make sure that we haven't, once again, officially hit that blow off top. TechDev shared the following: Bitcoin daily market structure before the 1.618 break. And this pattern has played out in 2013, in 2017, and now it's happening again in 2021. So that doesn't mean it will exactly happen the same way, right? But we want to go off of the data and the trends, and it's looking very similar that we're going to see our bounce pretty soon. So, once again, this may be the final phase of this respective dip. It's painful. It's if you're new to the market, I know a lot of people are probably panicking, and the fear and greed sentiment right now is at 25, the Bitcoin fear and greed sentiment. And it once again proves, as I've said many times, and the data shows this, the market moves with Bitcoin. Bitcoin pumps, then you have alts will follow Bitcoin's pump once Bitcoin has completed its pump, of course. When Bitcoin corrects, the entire market moves. People get caught up in maximalism and tribalism and emotions and feelings. I'm looking at data and trends, and I've shown you guys charts showing how the capital flows. It goes into Bitcoin first, then into the altcoins. So hope you guys understand that, and you're keeping your emotions at the door. Check them at the door and just look at the data, the facts, the trends, the historical patterns, and so forth. All right, let's move ahead. FTX follows Coinbase, Ripple in releasing regulatory framework. FTX joins other exchanges, including Coinbase, in releasing a regulatory framework just 5 days before its CEO is scheduled to testify before Congress. Now, if you've been subscribed to this channel, I shared the news with you guys. We have about 8 CEOs are going to meet with Maxine Waters and her digital assets working group. I said this is extremely bullish because I spoke to Congressman Warren Davidson, and he said, she's one of the key stakeholders in getting the rest of the folks to rally and to provide crypto regulations. So whether you love or hate Maxine Waters, we need her to participate in this. We need bipartisan support, right, to get this going. And Congress has to step in because we see Gary Gensler is out of control here. And it's great that these companies are putting out these regulatory frameworks. Obviously, like as mentioned, Coinbase did it, and so did Ripple. So I like what I'm seeing here, guys. And here's what it's titled: Key Principles for Market Regulation of Crypto. And it says the list is designed to guide policymakers and regulators as they build the regulatory framework for spot and derivatives crypto markets, the Post read. The exchange argues for the creation of one central regulatory body, although not necessarily a new organization, with one set of rules for spot derivatives trading. The issue of jurisdiction over the digital asset industry has been a top of mind for both regulators and industry leaders as officials struggle to determine how cryptocurrencies fit into the current system. And of course, we're seeing Gary Gensler, the Grinch himself, the puppet being controlled by the banking cartel puppet masters. He's out of control. He's blocking Coinbase lending. We know about the Ripple lawsuit. We know they're going after Terra Luna, and he's looking to go down the list. So he needs to be stopped because we need innovation to flourish. I wish he could get kicked out today and Hester Peirce becomes the chairwoman and lead the SEC. So, guys, there's some positive here. Like I said, these CEOs are going and speaking to Maxine Waters, and and the rest of the folks on the government side, Patrick McHenry as well. So I'm hoping this really pushes and moves the needle here, that we can get some regulatory framework. Look at this. This could be very foreshadowing with the United States if they don't get it right. South Korea postpones crypto taxes as crypto investments are already going offshore. See what's happening with this global asset class? If you try to stifle this innovation, it will go to other parts of the world where it can grow, guys. And we know there's forward-thinking countries, Singapore, Japan, obviously the UK and Europe. And here, there's some additional details. Korea is postponing crypto taxes as political parties want to get the youth vote in the run-up to March's presidential election. That's right, mofos. You better get it right or you will vote it out. And I'm telling you, this is going to be something big in the United States as well. Watch a lot of these anti-crypto or people who are slow to move to this. They flip and become pro-crypto because they will be voted out. And we'll make sure of that, right? For sure. I know like the infrastructure bill situation really woke up a lot of the crypto companies, and now a lot of them are lobbying. And I think people realize what's happening with some of these boomers, and this is not all boomers. I'm not trying to throw all boomers under the bus, but those who are not listening, those who are spreading FUD. You got idiots like Elizabeth Warren, Brad Sherman, and these clowns. Obviously Janet Yellen, and yet obviously you have Gary Gensler, right? They will be kicked out. So this, I think, right here could certainly play out in the United States. And just to give you some context, South Korea's National Assembly has agreed to postpone a 20% crypto tax until 2023. The 20% tax would kick in on amounts greater than $2,122, which is 2.5 million Korean won. So they're trying to put in, these taxes on crypto and capital gains. I've said it before, capital gains is highway robbery. I mean, it's ridiculous, right? You take all the risk. You take your already taxed money, invest it, and then the government says, oh, you made some money? Give me a big chunk of it. I mean, it's asinine, right? When you think about it. And I'm not anti-tax. Like, I believe, yes, you have to pay some level of tax to fund for your roads and your community and police and firemen and all that in schools, right? Obviously. But come on, how many taxes are they going to have? And they continue to increase it. And we know it's because of just incompetence with money printing and budget handling. And we, the people, get screwed, right? When the bankers crashed the economy, who bailed them out? Did the government print money to bail them out? No. Well, excuse me. They did bail them out, but it's the taxpayers' money that was used, right? And then as a result, too, they had to print more money to make up for some of these losses and to get the economy going again. So then we also lose via inflation. So it's a lose-lose game for us. But I'm thankful for crypto gives us an avenue out, a way out, and it helps bring some of the power back to the common folk. All right, look at this, guys. Senator Pat Toomey, I'm in contact with his people to get an interview, by the way. Here's what he put out today. Look at this headline. Gensler skips chance to give regulatory clarity on cryptocurrencies. The subheader is lack of guidance for cryptocurrencies underscores the need for Congress to act. Thank you, Senator Pat Toomey. This is what we've all been talking about, tweeting about. And once again, Gensler is the roadblock. He is the main man there that we got to get him out of the way, and that whether it comes by regulation or he gets fired or something, right? But most likely it'll be by regulations from Congress. So let me read some stuff here for you. U.S. Senate Banking Committee ranking member Senator Pat Toomey, Republican out of Pennsylvania, today expressed disappointment in the SEC Chairman Gary Gensler's responses to senators' requests for public guidance surrounding emerging technologies like cryptocurrencies. Here's a quote. For investors to benefit from a fair and competitive marketplace, federal agencies should answer questions about whether, and if so, how new and emerging technologies fit under existing regulations, said Toomer. Chairman Genser's failure to provide clear rules of the road for cryptocurrencies underscores the need for Congress to act. He's absolutely right. He's been trying to get guidance, but and this was a letter he sent in September. But we see Genser he's hiding like a chicken. He didn't even show up to the fireside chat where Jay Clayton was there in person. He's not talking to the crypto community at all. He's just continuing the same old bullshit. And he's doing the bidding of his puppet masters, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, all these banking folks. And that's where he comes from. He knows the disruption that's happening. You know, they were the gatekeepers and they're losing that power. And now they're fighting it, right? Because you can now go invest in this asset class. You don't need to go through them, and they don't control the majority of it, right? For the first time in history, I think Raoul Pal said it, the little guy gets to front run many of these major institutions. And it's you know, one of the greatest disruptions of finance and a redistribution of wealth. It's pretty amazing when you think about it. Now, Ryan Selkis of Messari, I haven't interviewed him, but it's going to be till in January. You know, he's been a very vocal in criticizing Genser and calling him out for all the bullshit he's doing. And here's what he tweeted today. Full indictment of Gary Gensler, someone I think is a liar and a fraud, plus rationale for these choice words in my annual report. So he put out a report. So he's not just calling him names, he's saying what this man is doing and calling out the shadiness. So first he said, Bitcoin futures versus spot ETF debacle shows he doesn't care about retail. I think we're seeing that over and over, right? It's not about you and I. The SEC's mission is to protect retail investors. That is no longer the case. I don't know when it flipped. I don't know what changed. Maybe it's just people getting bribes like Jay Clayton and so forth from these Goldman Sachs guys. I don't know when that happened. Maybe in the 90s, maybe in the 80s, who knows? B, he said his dismissal of the safe harbor shows he wants power, not solutions. So Hester Peirce's safe harbor, Genser doesn't care. I think in the interview, he couldn't even acknowledge it. It's almost like he didn't read it. I'm sure he didn't. He doesn't care. C, he says, I found his answers to Congress evasive. D, invitations to engage are in bad faith. Engagement has crippled projects and led to zero progress. He wants to blackball crypto exchanges. So Ripple's legal team and those folks have talked about this. The SEC has a big green sign saying, hey, we're open for business. Come on in, come talk to us. You know, we want to help you. You go in, you go in under the premise that, yeah, I'm going to work with these guys. I'm going to be transparent. I'm going to be honest with them while they're secretly taking notes. Oh, you did this, really? Interesting. And they're taking these notes, right? And then you leave thinking, oh yeah, you know, they're going to work with it. And now all of a sudden they come drop a lawsuit against you. That's what's happening. Shakedown. We've talked about this, guys. And Ryan is just, you know, confirming it here. So E, he contradicts prior SEC policy. Example, Ethereum is a security, So we know Jay Clayton, William Hinman, we know the conflicts of interest there. William Hinman and Jay Clayton gave Ethereum a free pass because of bribery. Look it up. Here it says F, he favors Chinese stocks. G, he ignores his historical performance of the class and actively misrepresents the numbers. H, he ignores systematic racism of existing accredited investor laws while hiding behind woke words. I, as a finance vet, former CFTC chair, and a crypto professor at MIT, he knows better. So there's a lot more in here, but I think Ryan is saying what we all know about Genser, right? And it's getting further confirmation using facts, what he said, what he has not said, what has he done, what has he not done? Is he taking into consideration historical facts and so forth, right? It's unbelievable what's happening. And once again, as Senator Pat Toomey said, we need Congress to step in. But nevertheless, guys, you know, I tweeted about this, maybe it was last week. Genser and his cronies can put up as many roadblocks as they want. Disruption is happening. We've seen it historically. The horse and buggy people fought the automobiles, right? The train people fought the airplanes and so forth. A lot of people fought the internet. and they will get disrupted. It may not happen in 6 months or a year, it may take years, but they're going to get disrupted. They cannot stop this technology. The genie's out the bottle, the train has left the station, and they are getting disrupted. And maybe, I don't know if this is their final fight. Maybe they will keep fighting, but they're not going to win. So, even though it can be, a bit discouraging to see what's happening here. You see all the corruption and the nonsense that we have to deal with when the government's supposed to represent us. But they're going to get disrupted. History is on our side. All right. Look at this. Adidas has officially announced that it has joined the metaverse. Adidas will also have its own NFT ape. But look at this commercial or ad. It's pretty cool. I really like it. I think they did a great job. It's interesting. Let me play it for you. I see trees. See them blue. And I think to myself, what a wonderful. For those of you listening on the podcast, it was essentially 3 NFT characters, like the Bored Ape and the CryptoPunk and so forth. And these 3 characters are flying from space into the Earth to a giant Adidas logo in like a mountain or something. It's pretty interesting. It's not anything groundbreaking or amazing, but I think it's pretty cool, and I think it shows a lot of these brands are forward thinking and looking to adopt the blockchain technology, metaverse, NFTs, crypto. We're headed to that token economy, guys. My OG subscribers, we've been talking about this for years. Full digitization, tokenization of every asset, and that's where we're headed. Everything on the blockchain. Finally, an example of that: Spider-Man NFTs drove the second biggest one-day ticket sales in AMC's history, says CEO. Look at this. It's technology is being adopted with different use cases, and it's going to looks like it's going to help boost the movie and music industry. Guys, I'm so excited for the future. Amazing things are coming, and I'm personally looking to see how we can get involved with NFTs. I also just don't have the time. I'm going to try to maybe over the this month, as we have some holidays, to really research and see how I can get involved, maybe create my own, maybe buy some just for fun and hold it. I'm not really into the trading of NFTs. I'm looking to see, well, this one's going to be worth $1 million later on. At this point, it is in a bubble, the NFTs. That doesn't mean the technology is not to stay here. It's not here to stay, excuse me. Every market goes through a bubble. I think we've seen that historically. Real estate, stocks, and crypto is no different. But amazing things are happening, and I hope you guys see it as well. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this news. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button, share this video, subscribe. Don't forget my interview with Raoul Pal will be live on Monday. You don't want to miss it. Thank you guys, and I'll talk to you all later.